moisture. I'll get you into penetration, the gender of a generation, the birth of every other nation. Look your way to go to meditation. This chapter's gonna be a close one. Smoke rings, I know you're gonna blow one. All on a spaceship persevering. Use my hands for everything but steering. Can't stop the spirits when they need you. Mob tops are happy when they feed you. J butterflies in the treetop. Words that blow the meaning in the bebop. World I love, the tears I drop. To be part of the wave can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you? The world I love, the trains are hard. To be part of the wave can't stop. Come and tell me when it's time to. Wait a minute, I'm passing out, win or lose, just like you. Far more shocking than anything I ever knew. How about you? 10 more reasons why I need somebody new, just like you. Far more shocking than anything I ever knew. Right on cue. Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop top, he says I'm gonna win big. Choose not a life of imitation. Distant us into the reservation. Default the pistol that you pay for. Just pump the feeling that you stay for. In time I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is subdue. Go write your message on the pavement. Burn so bright, I wonder what the wave meant. Kickstart the golden generate hub. Sweet talk but don't intimidate hub. Can't stop the gods from engineering. Feel no need for any interfering. Your image in the dictionary. This life is more than ordinary. Can I get you maybe even 3 of these? Coming from a space to teach you of the Pleiades. Can't stop the spirits when they need you. This life is more than just a read through.
This morning, 'cause you didn't go to bed. You were watching the whites of your eyes turn red. The calendar on your wall is ticking. The days off, you've been reading some old letters. You smile and think how much you've changed. All the money in the world couldn't buy back those days. You pull back your curtains and the sun burns into your eyes. You watch a plane flying across a clear blue sky. This is the day your life will surely change. This is the day when things fall into place. You could have done anything. if you want it, and all your friends and family think that you're lucky, but the side of you that never sees when you're left alone with the memories that hold your life together like glue. And the sun burns into your eyes. You watch a plane flying across a clear blue sky. This is the day your life will surely change. This is the day when things fall into place.
Hi everyone, how are you? So I hope you're well. Thank you again for embarking in this journey into Qigong. I'm really excited. This is our second live in preparation for the big masterclass. And today we are going to dive a little bit deeper and understand a few more things about Qigong. And this time I'm going to talk about something that I find very important, which is why should we add Qigong to our therapies? Sometimes we have this idea that Qigong should be practiced on its own, 1 hour, a sequence of movements with a certain sequence of a class. And in therapy, when we use Qigong as a therapy, we can break sometimes the movements, a sequence of the movements. Each movement has its own meaning and is going to address either organ, a type of energy, or something that we want to improve. So sometimes we can just take out 1 or 2 pieces of this big sequence of movements and ask the person to do at home. Why? Because it's going to improve not only the life of the person, but how a treatment is going to move forward much faster. And that is very useful for us. And why does that happen? Today we're going to talk about 9 advantages um, that we can have from adding Qigong exercises to our therapies. And this doesn't matter what type of therapist you are. You're a healer, you are MD, a psychologist, psychiatrist, Reiki master, whatever. This is good. This is good because it's going to increase not only consciousness, but also the level of energy that your client or patient has. So it's really good. So the first thing that Qigong does, which I think
It's Whoop Up
is very
KHP
good,
90.3 FM live on the web at
is
khp.org. And it is my great pleasure to
is
have
an
in the
holistic
studio.
approach, as we know. And the holistic approach, we know that it focuses on different energetic aspects and promotes harmony and within the person. And I think is one of the things that today we lack, and is the cause of lots of ailments. At least I think, because I work in Chinese medicine, people are completely disconnected, and we are so much on the outside that we forget how important our body is. And because we don't pay attention to our body and the different parts and what we can do, sometimes we fall ill. And practicing even 1 or 2 movements a day is going to reconnect us with our inside, with ourselves. And sometimes we haven't done that for a long time, sometimes years on a row. So Qigong is a holistic way of treating people, creates harmony inside of the body, and is going to connect all the dots. And when everything is connected inside of us, then not only the amount of energy goes up, but the healing effect of the energy can be enhanced a lot. So this is the first thing. The other advantage of adding Qigong exercises is stress reduction, and that is very important. We know by looking at nature that all the animals that breathe very rapidly, they die very quickly. So why? Because the organs work a lot more than they should. So if we reduce the stress, we are going to reduce cortisol, or we're going to reduce lots of stuff that is created because we are under stress. And we're going to work a lot our nervous system. So mainly we are going to put the parasympathetic nervous system, the one that should work more during the evening. That doesn't always happen, but that is going to work more, and the sympathetic nervous system is going to decrease. So this way we have a reduction in stress, so our organs don't undergo so much stress, so you don't have so many hormones and substances being created by us, which in the end are going to be harmful for our system. I think stress on its own is one of the problems that is increasing every day, and we should look at it. So, holistic approach, stress reduction, and the third, which is very important, is the energy cultivation. I was telling you last time, the body has lots of different ways of storing and creating energy, from the cells to the whole organ, the meridians, the dantian. If you don't know what it is like a capsule where we store energy, and we have different ones inside of the body. So we have all these map of energy points and areas, but we need to learn how to store and how to work with these areas. It's not enough just to have energy around. We need to learn how to work with this inner world that is our body. And this is one of the things that happen when you start incorporating small exercises in your daily routine. As I said, I mean, you can be any type of therapist. If you give just one exercise, because people these days, they don't have too much time. So if you give them one exercise, two exercises to do every day, believe me that after some time, 2 weeks minimum, you will see that the body is starting to respond, and we learn how to activate different parts of the body. This way we can store energy, and if you learn a little bit further, you can move this type of energy from the main dantian, or the main area that you store that energy. You can move to different parts of the body, and that's the beauty of Qigong. We can move the energy either with our own body, or when you go further up with your mind, the intention, the e-power, which is extremely important. All of this, I'm going to go a little bit deeper in the masterclass. Today, I'm just going to talk about a few things. E-power is something to remember because it's very important. When we start working with Qigong, we always go from the material to immaterial, and then vice versa, meaning that when we start training, we need to work with more physical parts. We need to work with the muscles, the bones, all of that. When you are a little bit more advanced, you can just move things using your mind. And then from your mind, you can materialize and bring things again into a stronger structure, like it is the physical body or the bones. That's the way it works. But to get there, the first thing that we need to have is consciousness about the body, about the different parts of the body, how to isolate different bits of the body. That is really, really important. I teach that almost every day, because I teach 3 or 4 times a week apart from training. And is amazing how I see the transformation of the people that just come to classes. I mean, the transformation of people that are with me in my course for 3 years is even more profound. But even the ones that just come, for regular classes is incredible after 1-2 months, how different they are. So that's the beauty of it. The energy cultivation is going to bring something that is awareness and inside of the body, because we have all sorts of structures like the meridians, fascia, and all of that. When the Taoist teaches that to have a healthy body, all the meridians or lines of energy, they need to be unblocked. If you have a blockage in one bit or the other, or one section, then your body will get sick. So when we increase the amount of energy and we make it move, all the blockages, or almost all of them, will disappear. And then if you had something wrong with you, you will get better. That is the beauty of the energy cultivation. Another thing that is curious about the body is that when you increase the amount of energy, doesn't matter where in the body, the energy when it goes in, the organs or meridians or area which are more who need more this type of energy are the first ones who are going to go there and pick up that energy. So in the end, you have like a balance inside of the body, which is very beautiful. Another thing that is important, and we are on a fourth advantage of bringing these movements to our therapies, is emotional regulation. As you know, I don't know if you know, but we have each organ is related to an emotion, a positive and a negative. And what we do is to transform the negative. We don't throw away energy. So we transform the negative in positive, which is good. This way, we not only treat the body, but we treat the emotional part of it. That's why Qigong is really good if you are psychologist, psychiatrist, coach, whatever. If you are dealing with more with the emotional part, you will see that there is a regulation of the emotions after a while. For instance, when I deal with mild depression, I use a lot the six ceiling sounds. Sometimes not all of them, some part of it, depending on what the person brings, if it's anger, if it's sadness. So I give the movement to that specific organ and the sound of that specific organ. And then usually in 2 weeks, without any herbs or any medication, the person gets better. Of course, if you have a profound depression, it's not only the six ceiling sounds that are going to go there, but that will add a lot of value to the prescription that you are giving to the person. And sometimes if the person is in every prescription, if you start giving Qigong, you will see that the person needs less chemicals and survives at with less stuff, chemicals or herbs or whatever you prescribe. So the body itself, because it heals and regulates, is able to stabilize things, even the emotions. The same, for instance, with the low self-esteem. Usually when you work with women, there's a lot of low self-esteem. So the inner smile is beautiful if done every day. This is another type of practice that I use a lot when I train and I have patients, female patients, and works wonders. So this is another example that you can add to whatever you do, some small exercises. Now, the way that we go about, and again, what I deal with is therapeutic Qigong. In a sequence, we need to know exactly what each movement is for. If one is to increase the oxygen in the lungs, the other one might be related to the kidneys. So this is something that we need to know. Although we do the whole sequence, we need to know exactly what each movement does. And then, only then, we can pick it up and give to the patient and see how it goes. Usually it works really well with the rest of the therapy. So there is this emotional part in every sequence of movement. So you have this physical part and you have the emotional one. And depending on what you're working with, if it's more physical or more emotional, you can prescribe the same movement can improve the physical and the emotional bit of it. So if you're dealing with pain, the same movement can improve that pain, but also will have an impact on the emotion connected to it, which is beautiful. And you don't need too much. Sometimes you need 1-2 exercises done regularly, and is beautiful, and it doesn't cost any money. So the fifth one is physical rehabilitation, and here we are on just working in the body. So when we train and create or teach the person to create this consciousness, the person can move the energy to the area that is in need. Imagine that you broke a bone and you're still healing that part. We can move the energy to this part and add value and increase the ability of the body to heal itself. But just to show you how it works, I'm going to invite you to do a very simple exercise with me. Okay, index finger. Just put the index finger in front of you and close your eyes. And now just focus your attention on the tip of your index finger. Do nothing, just think about your index finger. And just stay like this for a bit. If you've never done it before, it takes a little longer. If you're already familiar with, working with energy, you should be starting to feel right now. Okay, you can open your eyes. What you feel is different from everyone. Tingling sensation, weight, sometimes cold. There is a reaction that you feel. What happened is not magic. The energy and the blood, they work together. If you focus in one point, and this is true for the tip of your finger or the liver or the spleen or the brain or whatever, if you focus your attention, you will have more blood and chi energy to this area. So when you want to heal some part of your body, you can focus your energy on that area, and with that you can add colors. If you know the meaning of each color, you can add colors, you can add sound, you can have all sorts of things and increase the energy in this area. Going back to the example of the broken bone, if you increase the energy in this area, you will see that you will heal the bone much faster. That's how we work with Qigong. And this is something that's why I was telling you before, that is very important to isolate or learn how to isolate different bits in your body. And that it takes some time, but it's possible. And after you've done that, you can concentrate your energy anywhere you want and heal that part if the main purpose is to heal. Now, going to the sixth one, we are going to have something that I find very important these days, which is mind-body connection. More and more we see people whose brains are completely disconnected from the rest of the body. We sort of divorce the body, and there is so much stimuli on a part of the brain with cell phones, with TV, with, we sort of cut from the neck down. And we don't understand most of the times that the body has a completely different language from the brain. The brain is much faster. The body is slower. And what we sometimes try to do is to increase the speed of the body so can match the brain. And that doesn't work because they have different languages. So when you connect body and mind, you will respect the language of your body. And when you respect, you see that the organs will respond back. And if you had pain, the pain stops. This is the beauty of it. And I think this is what I see in my practice. That is the main cause of problems, physical problems, beginning of profound diseases that come because people are completely disconnected. For instance, I work a lot because my specialty is gynecology. So I treat a lot of women who want to get pregnant. And this is a main problem. Most of the times they don't get pregnant because they don't follow the pattern of the body. They are completely disconnected. And this is a work that with exercises, with breathing, with going to nature, step outside and look at yourself. This is a bunch of things that I sometimes give them. And after a while, they start to connect with the body. And all of a sudden, wow, I have a body that has a language. And I think this is something that is very powerful. And as healers, therapists, doctors, whatever, we need to look at this connection between body and mind more in a more respectful way, and give tools to our clients or patients to make this connection. Because otherwise you keep giving pills, you keep giving, sometimes operating on people, taking stuff from the inside. And the thing is, people need to have or to know how to connect the dots. We need to educate. Every healer therapist is a teacher also. We need to educate people and teach them how to cope with their own problems, how to live with their bodies. The solution is not only to give pills, not only to give more vitamins, more stuff, more, because our body produces lots of chemicals. We just need to know how to get there. And most of the time, we go there with the brain. We have a huge influence on our hormones, on nervous system, on everything. The same mind that heals is the one that makes you sick. So you can choose. The thing is, you need to learn how to move from the negative to the positive. And this is the beauty of Qigong, because it can bring you from a dark place to the light. It can bring you from the pain to pleasure. Is really, really good. Depends on you and how deep you want to go. So mind-body connection, very important, and it will be even more important in the future, because we have a lot of disconnection, mental illness that is going to increase, and all sorts of things. Burnout now is fashionable. We can work and help a lot with mind-body connection using Qigong. So the seventh one is self-empowerment. I mean, who doesn't want self-empowerment? Everyone. One of the things that China never opened up a lot about Qigong till today is because it gives you a lot of power. It does. Conscious of yourself, your role in society, your role in the world, your role in your family, who you are. And we know that these sometimes can be dangerous. Recognize that you are a person with rights and needs, and all of that is not good. But self-empowerment is something that we need, especially when you're dealing with people that underwent trauma, profound trauma. They need to feel that power so that they can come out. Sometimes you see people that come from abusive relationships that they don't know how to get out. They don't have that. So Qigong does that. I've seen people changing a lot lives, turned upside down after training for a while. It's like magic. But people one day wake up and is like, whoa, I have a body, I have a mind, I have a will, and I'm going for it, which is amazing. Self-empowerment, that is great. Now, these last two are also important, which is preventive care. You not only increase your amount of energy, but this increase in energy is it accumulates. Accumulates. So what you store today, it will be there tomorrow and will be there the day after. So you can use it. It's like a bank account. It's a safe bank account. So you can use, if you train regularly, it's not just to train once a month. You're not going to get there. Okay. You need to train like twice a week, 3 times is the average. And you don't need to go crazy and train for 3 hours. You know, if you only have 20 minutes, you train 20 minutes. It's good. But the amount of energy that you create, it will be there, and you can use this for whatever you want. For instance, if you have your immune system doesn't respond or is weak, by training, you will see that you fight disease much faster. For instance, imagine that you don't have, we call it roots. We don't know where we are going. After you train for a while, especially the static positions, Zhangzhuang, the tree position, you will have this sense of self-power and belonging, which is really good. So this will prevent you from falling ill, from going down when something happens in your life, and we all have that. We have ups and downs. After you create this base, it will help you to go much lighter through the lows of life. Is really, really good. And the last one is it complements other therapies. You can use with your patients. Imagine that you do acupuncture. If you're talking or dealing with someone that you already trained, you can ask the person to focus the attention on the needle that you want, or in 2 needles, or in 3 needles. You know, so increases the potential of those needles. Imagine that you, I don't know, cleaning the aura or whatever. You can ask your client or your patient to go and focus in what you want. So you combine your energy with the energy of the patient, and whatever you're doing, whatever work you're doing, it will have a huge impact, and the person will get better much sooner. Now, having said all of that, I need to remind that the Qigong should not replace professional and medical advice or treatment. We always add this to whatever treatment you are doing. As I said before, sometimes what happens is that after a while, you start reducing medication, you start needing less physiotherapy or whatever, but this is not a substitute. For me, I think the ideal world, and I hope that we all go that way, is that every type of medicine can come together. And my hope is that all of you, all of us, can respect each other and advise people to move from A to B. I mean, if someone comes, I do acupuncture, I do Chinese medicine. If someone comes with a broken bone, I'm not going to stick needles. I'm going to send them to hospital. So this respect that we need to have is something that I hope in the future will bring us more together, and we can share. The ones that work with more physical stuff can work also, if they are inclined to that, with energy, and the ones with energy can work with more physical stuff. And like this, I think is perfection. We should not fight, and we should respect as professionals each other's work and know our limits. And for that, we need to learn. That's the only way. So, and that's exactly what I do, and what I hope that if you're a beginner or don't know what you are, but you heard about Qigong, is something that is not just a bunch of exercises. There is a lot behind it. It's a beautiful thing to learn, but we need to respect ourselves and keep learning, because this is a road that has a beginning but has no end. So yeah, that's the way it is. So this is what I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And on Monday, I'm gonna bring you a new subject, and again, this is just a warm-up for the big masterclass that we are going to have next Wednesday. So stay put, and yeah, 谢谢. See you soon. See you on Monday.